our live, I think, Friday Fun, which is every Friday at noon Eastern Time. It's so good that some of you are waiting already. Let me go ahead and just start by saying hey to some of you. Thank you for so much for being there and joining us today. We have Nancy Joseph and Toxic Orchid. Hey, I've read through many of your comments already. Thank you guys for being there. And Charlotte, Bruce, and Esther, one of our admins. Thank you so much for being with us, Esther, and for serving us. And let's see, Kelly Hart is in the chat, and Jan, and Melanie, and Jacqueline Fridge, and from sunny and cold Los Angeles. Well, we're here broadcasting from South Carolina, where it is nice and sunny. It was in the 70s yesterday. It's going to be in the 70s today. So I'm going to, as soon as the chat is over, I think I'm going to get into my car and take a drive just because it's so gorgeous out here. I can certainly use some of that vitamin D production in my body too, according to my doctor. Let's see, we have Deanna. It says, good morning from rainy day in Kentucky. And Esther was wondering when everybody's crocheting today. And Kelly Hart says she's crocheting a baby set where it has a dress, shoes, and headband for a baby. Oh, that sounds delightful, Kelly. That sounds beautiful. And Toxic Orchid says, pleased with herself this morning. I set a goal to complete a certain pattern before the live stream and just completed it. Yay, Toxic Orchid, rock on. That's great. Excuse me, I'm not sure what my voice is doing today. And we have Johnny in the chat. Hey, Johnny, my friend from South Florida. Says, good morning, Bonnie and buddies, and Esther. And wondering how his home state of New Jersey is. Bet it's not nearly as warm as you have down there, Johnny. But you know, we've had a nice warm up along the East Coast this week. It's been great. Even up at my home in Maryland, my husband said they were enjoying temperatures of up to 75 yesterday. So, you know, the t-shirt weather, which is like what I've got on now. That's why I'm not wearing a crochet scarf or something. It's just really too warm to do that right now. And I'm enjoying that fact. Let's see, Johnny says, I just finished a rectangle shell design Afghan for a friend. Hopefully started on Bonnie's cable sweater this weekend. Yay, I hope that goes well for you, Johnny. You know how to monkey with the sizing if you need to make it fit you just right. And if not, just let me know. Toxic Orchid says, does a happy dance because that leaves 2 more unfinished projects in our pile. Yay. And yep, Johnny says it's 79 degrees in South Florida, but it's going to get hotter than that, as I recall, the way things were living down there. And Toxic Orchid says, Johnny's, I'm envious. I so want to do the sweater, but I can't until I've completed unfinished project. Good girl. Yeah, I know the feeling. You got to have an orderly way of doing these things. And Toxic Orchid says she's got the lovely plum color. That's going to be nice. And Melanie Lewis is in the chat. Hey, Melanie. And Angie and Lauren says, determined to be here from the start today. Hi, everyone. Well, thanks for joining us, Lauren. I hope your day is going well. I see Kelly Hart says, I used to have the same problem. I would crochet something and then leave it and go on to the next project. Yeah, you know, sometimes you have to just walk away from it. I've done that with knitting projects lately, but I'm returning to them. I just have to be in the right mood. Yeah, Toxic Worker says, much to my husband's annoyance. Oh, well, just hide it away. No one has to look at it in the meantime, right? All right, so let's go on. Let's see. Leanne Banner Hobbs is in the chat. Says, hey, Bonnie and friends. Happy Friday. All love from the Isle of Wight. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining us again. Thank you for being so consistent. And let's see. See, Lauren has a conversation with Esther and Toxic Orchid. Says, we are good. Thank you. She's driving me, is it barmy? Okay, I guess crazy, sort of, today. Okay, so, but she had daddy to herself yesterday, and I'm second best. I was knocked flat after my COVID jab. Oh, dear. Wow. Yeah, Lauren, I'm glad you're able to get that. And just to let you all know, you know, I got the Johnson & Johnson's vaccine I guess this past Monday. Well, just had a little bit of a sore arm, which is just a little tender still, but for the most part gone. Head a little bit foggy for a couple days, but it didn't impair me, from doing what I needed to do. So I was really thankful that it didn't make me nearly as tired as it did. I guess my husband got a different one. He got the Moderna, and the second shot really kind of made him tired, but nothing beyond that. So I'm just really glad that we'll be able to gather with our family next week here in the Carolinas. So I'm so excited about that. Um, yeah. Okay. So Lauren says all I've had all day is where's Dada. It's kind of funny, Lauren. The first words that Becky, who often moderates our chat, she was my first child, and that was the first word she learned to say. I was with her all day long, and her first words were Dada. So oh well, I think it's just an easier thing for kids to say. I guess mommy or mama is a little more complicated. Um, let's see. Cynthia Dalton is in our chat. Says, hello, Bonnie and friends. It's a beautiful sunny day here in the middle part of North Carolina. Yay, Cynthia. Yeah, we're about an hour south of you all, so thank you. Oh, Johnny, thank you so much. Johnny just added $10 to our chat, to our super chat, which we're going to just make that the starting point for the next possible song in the future here. So um, for those of you that don't know, I'll just go over it real quickly. For the super chat, that's this month after we donated last month's to Shriners Hospital for Children. This month is going to Rancho 3M, which is it's a missions-based, how do I describe this? It's an orphanage and a Christian school for very poor kids in Guadalupe, Mexico, just south of the border in outside of El Paso. And one of the poorest sections of the world I've ever been to in my life. Becky and I served many years ago, back in 2006, on the compound. And so we have kind of a relationship connection to this place. It's a real place. It's a wonderful place. They do a lot of good, and it's a tough kind of a ministry there. And I know they've been hit hard. But anyway, this month's super chat is going, or the next group, I guess, or the next time we reach $100, it's going to the Rancho 3M, just to let you all know. But thank you, Johnny. That's really kind of you. And thanks for just helping me to be able to do more stuff like that. And if you've ever bought Aran Afghans or Noggins and Necks, a portion of that designer income has already been gone to Rancho 3M many times over. So thank you for your support on any of my publications. I so appreciate that. Let's see. Lauren says, I guess talking about the vaccine to Toxic Orchid. I felt awful yesterday and just sweated and slept, but feel absolutely fine today, other than a mild ache in my arm. That's good to hear, Lauren. Glad you're doing well. But from what I understand, it's a whole lot better than getting the virus, as we all know. And I would often have that reaction, even just to a simple booster for what's it called, tetanus. I would have a similar reaction, so I guess it's nothing unusual. See, Brenda Mack is in the chat. Hey, Brenda. She says, hello, everyone. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Idaho. That's great. And Janet Lowe is in our chat from Illinois. She said it's cloudy there. And let's see. Kelly says she's drinking a bottle of water with orange and cucumbers for my diet. Ugh. I wish I could get excited about that one, Kelly, but that does not sound appealing. I hope you're able to eat something good too. And Toxic Orchid has a question. Can anyone tell me what the stitch used is in between the Celtic weave stitch in the thumbnail? Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. It's actually called the low front ridge. It's a 2-stitch repeat. And we just got another super chat from Proverbs 31 Yarn. Thank you so much. It says, may the Lord bless you always. Thank you for what you do. Thank you so much, Proverbs 31. I love that proverb, by the way. If you guys want to look that up in the Bible, it's fantastic. It's very encouraging for women too. So definitely take a look at that, but just keep in mind as you read through that I kind of understand that proverb as a cumulative list, you know, for perhaps what a woman, a godly woman, may experience in her lifetime, I would think. So that's just my little interpretive spin there on that. But wonderful, wonderful um, chapter. If you have never read it before, take a look at it. And even speaks to people making things with their hands. So it's you know, one of those wonderful verses there. Um, it supports crafters. So anyway, just to say the least. Um, let's see. Esther says she's drinking a matcha latte. Wow. Well, good for you, Esther. Or is that a mocha? Well, anyway, matcha, I don't know. I am not a coffee drinker, so I am a big ignoramus when it comes to that. Uh, Janet, oh dear, Janet, she says she's been sick with COVID, so I've missed the last couple weeks. I just can't shake the pneumonia. Oh, Janet, I'm so sorry. Um, I need to put you on a list. I don't have my list. Hannah, could you write down Janet Lowe for me so that I don't forget that? Okay, Marsh, is it Marshy? Um, okay, Hannah has sent me a post from, is it Marsha? Or Marshe, says, okay, apparently she is a blind crocheter here on YouTube. Okay, the name Blind Stitches Creations. Wow. And she has her own YouTube channel and was wondering if I have any ideas on some projects that she can do with basic stitches. Um, great question. I do. If you go, I don't know how you do that without being able to see the computer, but I do have a list of if you go to playlist, there at the top of the channel on the home page, there is something called playlist. If you click on that, I do have beginner project playlist there. If you email me, send me an email, bonniebay@me.com, and I will be sure to send you everything you need in that email. I hope that can help you. That's amazing. I so admire what you're doing. Um, so let's see. Thank you, Kelly. Gosh, praying for Janet there in the chat. Janet, I hope you feel better, sweetheart. I know what pneumonia looks like up close and personal, taking care of my mom over the many years past, and Hannah does too, helping me with Grandma Schweitzer. And I do pray that you get over that and just lick it, you know, just knock this thing out. Let's see. And we've got some conversations there about diet drinks there. Let's see. Lauren Jordan says cucumber slices only belong with Pims. I'm not sure what. Okay, I guess. Okay, I'm not even going to go there. It sounds like nutritional stuff that is over my head. Let's see. I'm just trying to get through more of the chat today so I can get to more people. Let's see, we have Melanie Lewis. Okay, again, praying for Janet Lowe. Thank you, Melanie. That's really kind of you. And yeah, definitely pray for her recovery. And see, Lauren says, I prefer regular. Okay, Hannah, if you could send me that question, that would be great. Okay, I got it now, Hannah. Yeah, I think I answered that, Hannah. So between the Celtic weave and the lace, it's called the low front ridge, just in case you didn't get that one, for Toxic Orchid. And we are going to talk more about this in just a bit. I just wanted to get through as many of these questions as I can because I want to get better at this. I want to try to reach more people in the chat. Okay, so we have, oops, I just got a lot of new things in the chat here. Hold on a second, guys. I'm backing up. I need to get my own theme music here so I can do this better. For some reason, my computer's just really slow to load. And when it loads about 500 text at the same time. Oh, we have, man, I am really behind. Okay, well, I'm still backing up here. Gee whiz, I need to get a backing signal. Um, Looks like we have Love to Craft in the chat. Hey, Love to Craft. And let's see. All right. Okay. I think I've caught up where I left off. And let's see. If I miss you guys, I'm really sorry. I'm not really trying to purposefully, skip anybody in the chat, just to let you know that. I think some people felt like I was doing that a couple weeks ago, and I honestly wasn't. It's just I have to take it the way it's put into my feed. And occasionally, if you feel, this is in case you ever feel ignored or slighted in the chat. Um, YouTube does have a filtration system. So if there's anything questionable in what you post, even sometimes not a questionable comment, it may be something that it's just the algorithm doesn't understand. It's kind of designed to hold the really bad stuff back. And sometimes it may not understand stitch lingo. So if that's you, I'm sorry, but just to let you know, um, that sometimes I don't even get the comment because it's filtered by the algorithm. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. But I want to try to get to as many people because you've taken time out of your day, and I want to just try to interact with you here. So looks like Janet Lowe is going to be working on a Tunisian crochet project soon. That sounds good, since you just ordered your yarn for a cross stitch Afghan. Very cool. And Marie Proudfoot is in the chat. Hey Marie, it's good to see you. I hope we can get together at some point. I actually, yeah, we'll have to see what we can do to work out. It would be fun to get together or meet halfway somewhere. We have Christiane in the chat. Christiane Santos. Hey, thanks for joining us. And Grace says, good morning from Northwest Washington State. Sunny and beautiful here. That's great. And Archer Nace is in the chat. She says, I'm in a doll clothes making mood. Well, that sounds like fun. I haven't done that in like 45 years, but that's great. I used to do that when I was a kid. And let's see, we have Archer Nace says it's sunny and 51 in Cleveland. And okay, now I see the comment there from Blind Stitches Creation. That's great. And welcome to the chat. And Wanda, the backwards wrong side crocheter. Hey Wanda, our truck driving friend, keeping us all supplied and everything we must have to survive for physical and mental needs. I wonder if you've ever delivered yarn, Wanda. That would be a cool load to carry. And we have Danielle Pond in the chat, and let's see. Patsy Weiss is in the chat. Hey Patsy, it's good to see you there. And Suzanne says, hi everyone, what a beautiful blanket in the background. Well, Suzanne, now that you mentioned that, let's just go ahead and let's talk about this. I won't put you off any longer. Here you go, guys. Hopefully you can see this. This is, I'm calling this spring cables and lace throw. And I want to show you the bottom trim, which is more of the same stitch, more of the lace stitch here. And I think you guys are going to like this. It is a little bit larger than what I usually make. It's 51 inches wide. It's about 68 inches long with the lace trim and everything. It crochets up lickety split pretty quickly. That is if you know how to do the Celtic weave. If you don't, take a look at the Celtic weave. I released an updated, it's just a digitized version of this stitch a couple weeks ago on my YouTube channel. So if you go to my homepage, you should be able to find it. So if you want to just practice the Celtic weave in the meantime, and the other stitches would be the low front ridge, which is where you work in, this is the stitch that Toxic Orchid was asking about. It's a 2-stitch repeat where you work slip stitches in the front loop only for row 1, and then you turn, and then working on the other side of the single crochet, you work single crochets in the remaining loop. And that's what gives it this nice little dividing line and ridge. And the other stitch is called the crow's feet, which I'll be teaching you in the tutorial. This tutorial will be on my channel, or on the public channel, as well as on the Watch.Bonnie Babe Crochet channel, the streaming service. And if you're a subscriber to the streaming service, the pattern will be complimentary. Otherwise, you can purchase it in my Lovecraft store once it becomes available. So, and that is going to be on March 22nd. So that's a week from Monday. So I'm just waiting for everything to come back from the editor so that it can be ready to be published. And so anyway, I'm real excited about this. I didn't bring the yarn to show you, but it's called Brava worsted weight yarn. So the worsted weight is a number 4. I believe there are 218 yards per scan. And that would mean, let me go ahead and do the math here. I used 18 scans. So for those of you who are looking to buy the yarn, I actually put the information in the video description below. So if you want to get the exact same yarn, the exact same color, the color name is called Marina. So all that information is in the video description below. So that's just under 4,000 yards. So if you want to use some other worsted weight or number 4 or Aran weight yarn, fine, go, use whatever you have. Or maybe if you want to use yarn in your stash and make each column a different color, I mean, you can do whatever you'd like to do with this. I think that would be kind of cool to change up the color, but I do like the solid. It is kind of a nice, and what's nice about it too is it's a little bit airier with the lace pattern. I mean, it's still going to be plenty warm, but it's a little bit airier, kind of, I kind of wanted to be representative of kind of a spring-like motif there. But anyhow, so if you have any questions on that, just let me know. It won't be released again until March 22nd. So it's coming. And this yarn is from Knit Picks. It's very good yarn. I believe it's the most economical yarn. Let me even check for you. I'm going to check for you right now to see what the price of this would be. Okay, it's just, I didn't do this beforehand, so give me a second. Let's see how much this is. Okay, they're actually having a sale on it. Let me see how much this is. Let me see if they even have the color that I used. They do. Okay. Well, it looks like the color I used won't be available, of course, until, I hate it when this happens, until the 25th of March. So it looks like it's back ordered, but you might be able to back order it. But they have some other very, very lovely colors there as well. Love Crafts, I have links for Love Crafts in the video description. They may have a similar color. But this is only, let's see, it's $2.49 a scan. You'll need, which is about 50 cents a scan cheaper than what Love Crafts usually sells their yarn for. I think Love Crafts yarn's quality is a little bit better than this. In all truth be told, again, this yarn was complimentary because I'm a designer from Knit Picks, but I'm not being paid a fee to tell you, you must buy this yarn or you must buy that yarn. And just, you guys know that. I don't work for any particular yarn company, which is why I can say this. This yarn is fine. I enjoyed it very much. I believe it's every bit as good as like the Red Heart Super Saver or yarns on that, on that caliber. I think Lovecraft's yarn is a little bit better. Just there's a little bit less, the little bally things that come on the yarn sometimes. Let's have that a little bit more with this yarn, a lot less with the Lovecrafts. But again, it's a lovely color. I think this is going to wear perfectly fine. They do have some yarn in the same type of yarn. They have a little bit lighter of a color called Tranquil, which is actually on sale for $1.87 a yard. I mean, $1.87 a scan. Wow, $1.87 a yard. That would be one expensive project. So they do have some other colors in here in shades of green that are only $1.87 a scan. So, you can check that out on that link that I gave you below if you're interested in that. So let me go ahead and get back to the chat. And Hannah sent me another question. Thank you, Hannah. You're doing a fantastic job. Okay, my email address. Let me go ahead and just put it in the group chat down here. Somebody wanted to know it. It's bonniebay@me.com. It's also listed in the description, the video description below. And let's see what else we got. Okay, and Jan had an excellent question. Um, Jan has a watch subscription renewal question. When it renews, is it at the new price or the original price when you joined? Okay, that's a great question, Jan. It's at the original price that you joined. If you were one of my early subscribers, one of my, at the very beginning of the service, we had a special for first time subscribers this was for a limited time. That time has passed, but it that's going to stay the same as long as you are a subscriber and don't cancel your subscription. That will stay the same indefinitely. Currently the subscription price is $6.95 per month. If you get the yearly subscription, it's the price of 10 months that you get for 12. So it's not $69.50. It's less than that. I don't know. It's whatever $69.50 is minus 2 months. So let me go ahead and do that real quick here. $69.50. Okay, I'm not a mathematician, okay? So it's around $55, $56 for a year, for 12 months. And for those of you who aren't familiar with that, the streaming service is totally ad-free. It's spam-free. I don't sell your information to companies. You're never going to get spam from me. The only way you can get newsy items from me is if you personally sign up for the newsletter, and many of you have done that. So thank you. And as you know, I only send that out maybe once a month, and that's even iffy. So I hope that answers the question. And one added bonus of the subscription is when I release new patterns like this Afghan, you do get a complimentary pattern. So you don't have, if you're one who likes to read, written patterns. And I am definitely one of those. I collect books, patterns, and everything because I just have to have the written stuff in front of me. But that is complimentary for the new things that I release, and there are many new patterns and exclusive material there that is not on my public channel. So just to let you all know that. So if you want to check it out, you can always just look at the channel. Just go to watch.bonniebaycrochet.com and you can browse. You can't watch the videos from there, but you can certainly browse and see what's all there. There are some behind the scenes videos that are not on my public channel. I need to work on doing some more of those. It's just been very busy this past week between getting the COVID vaccine and doing some other things around and helping my mother-in-law out. And also finishing up an Afghan. It's been a very busy but very productive week. So I haven't been able to do any behind the scenes work, but I want to get out there and do so. I need to do that so I can show you my Carolina place here where I do a lot of work. All right. So let's see. And we talked about that. Let's see. Oh, we have Danielle she says, hi from London. Hope you're keeping safe. Yes, Danielle, I hope you're doing well in London. I hope you all are able to get out soon and visit, just get around in that beautiful, beautiful town of yours. I so love visiting London. It's been, what, a year and a half now? It was fall 2019 that I got to visit that for the first time, visit your city for the first time. And I loved it. I was surprised that I ended up liking it as much as I did. It was, I'm more of a give me the mountains, over the city kind of gal, but it was really beautiful, and it was just really cool to see these things that I've only heard about and seen pictures of my whole life. So much history, rich history there. And we have Judy from Brazelton, Georgia. Hey, Judy. And Diana and Rosie King from Lincolnshire. And Hannah just sent me another good question here. Divine Blessed, what a great name for a channel. Would like to know my opinion on the yarn that I could find at the dollar store. That's a great question, because it really depends on what you find there. You can find an absolute gold mine, in my opinion, at the Dollar Tree sometimes. I have. I remember years ago finding some yarn there, and I have a bunch of it. I'm ready. I need to do something with it when I can. Actually, I need to. I have that in my home in Maryland, waiting for me to do a summer sweater with it. But I have found some that was a combination of mohair and silk. Yeah, and it had sequins in it on top of that. I mean, this was absolutely fabulous yarn. I mean, you could probably find a lot of junk there too, but I have personally found some outstanding yarn. And the only thing wrong with the yarn was that it was discontinued by the manufacturer. And that was it. So if you don't mind the fact that sometimes yarn is, I'll put my feet up here. If you don't mind that yarn has been, oops, squeak, squeak. If you don't mind that yarn has been discontinued by the manufacturer, I mean, it still works. It's still great yarn. I would say go for it. I mean, of course, just make sure that you have enough for what you want to make with it if you have a design in mind, because obviously if it's discontinued and you're getting it at the Dollar Tree, you're not going to be able to go back next week and get more. But I say go for it. I have many times, or several times at least. I have even found complete, this is amazing, and I used these at CGOA as some of the gifts, little giveaways that I gave away during my class time. This was in Portland, Oregon. I found complete sets of Susan Bates crochet hooks, like 6 different sizes all together in a little pouch for $1. And the only thing wrong with these hooks is it looked to me as if they didn't have that the coloring added to them. They were just gray hooks. They were beautiful hooks. They were nothing wrong with them. There were no burrs on them or anything like that. They were by the Susan Bates Red Heart Company. And when I saw that, you know what I did? I grabbed all of them. I grabbed probably 20 sets. I think that's all they had. And I put them all in my basket. $1 for 6 crochet hooks that are like amongst the best you can get. Duh. So yeah, I do like the Dollar Tree, and I like Goodwill. I like going to Salvation Army stores too. Those are the best places. So yeah, great question, Divine Bless. Thank you. And Swati is in our chat. Hey Swati. She says happy Friday from LA. Hope everyone's doing well. Can only stay until till 10 today, so I hope you talk about the blanket before then. Okay, so yeah, I did it. I got it in the first hour. Yay. So she's 10 o'clock California, so that would be 1 o'clock our time. We hope you got that, Swati. Yay. And we have Amal says hello. And was it Smoke and Signal 68 Canalori? Well, that's an interesting name. She says, what part of South Carolina? I'll be moving to Pawleys Island soon. Wow, Pawleys Island is fantastic. I took a drive down there. It's so beautiful down there, so remote though. I am going to take a drive down there because I have a friend who is another designer friend that I met. She used to live in New York, and I'm going to go visit her down there as soon as we can, as soon as her vaccine takes effect, and which in a couple of weeks I'm going to see if we can schedule. But we are in Conway, South Carolina, which is outside of Myrtle Beach, so not too far. And when you move to Pawleys Island, Smoke and Signals, there is a craft store. I'm going to see if I can do a video of this craft store and post it on my channel for you all. Maybe even see if I can do a live from there in the future. It's called Knit and Purl. KNIT, the letter N, and then PURL. Fantastic yarn store. It's off of North Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach. It's worth the drive from Pawleys Island. It's beautiful. You could probably get there within an hour or less. And we have Chandra Harris in the chat. Hey Chandra, thank you so much for joining us. And Brat's mom, she says, happy Friday from beautiful sunny Southwest Chicago suburbs. Excuse me, guys. I'm not sure what's going on with my digestion system here. And we have Mandy Morin from the UK. Hey, Mandy, thank you so much for joining us. It's so great to have you guys here. And Alma Torres says, good morning, Bonnie, from a beautiful sunny day in Houston, Texas. Well, that's great. I'd like to go to Houston sometime. I've never been to Houston. Um, and we have Michelle E. and Patsy Weiss says she's crocheting an Easter dress for her great grand. And Loretta Griffith says, hey, from Spotsylvania, working on 2 of your projects, having beautiful weather. Oh, isn't it grand? I think that things are going to get crazy once everybody gets their vaccines. You know, the weather is good and things are starting to, you know, the sun is starting to come out, and you know, with this season that we're in, and I just can't wait to just get in a car and hit the road. Um, Thanks, Kelly. She's going to try to send me a picture. That would be fantastic. And Love to Craft says, I'm crocheting a granny square heart bucket hat for my 12-year-old. Wow, send me a picture of that if you can. That sounds interesting. And let's see, we have Donna from sunny Ohio. Oh, I love that. I love driving through the Ohio Valley. It's so beautiful there. And we have Joni says it's a beautiful sunny day, raking leaves, getting busy. Yay. And is it, oh, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Gognate? Sorry if I mispronounced that. It says, good afternoon from Dublin, Ireland. Oh, I would love to go visit you in Dublin again. Love, love, love. Have such fond memories walking the streets of that beautiful place. Um, Crossing over the Liffey and just seeing the people out there busking in the streets with the music and stuff. I think next time I'm going to bring my whistle and I'm just going to start joining in with them. I hope you're doing well. And let's see, Marlena says, hi from Boston, warm but windy, working on cocoon baby wraps for a friend's triplets. How wonderful. That is how thoughtful. That's great, Marlena. And we have Jan says, hey, Hannah Banana. I'm sure Hannah loves that. She's such a sweetheart. And Moogles is in the chat, says, good evening from South Africa. Currently busy with your cabled cherub baby blanket for my little boy. Lovely pattern. Thank you, Moogles. For those of you who haven't heard or don't know and you're looking for a baby blanket, it's a free pattern courtesy of Cascade Yarns. When I say courtesy of that, let me just explain that in case some of you don't understand how that works, because there are a lot of free patterns out there. It's a free pattern to you all because Cascade Yarns several years ago paid me to design a baby blanket with their yarn. And so it is up on the Cascade Yarns site, or you can just Google, let's see, Cherub, spelled Cheherub, baby blanket. If you just put that in the search bar on my homepage, the videos will come up, and they're for right and left-handed. So if you want to do that, take a look. You can download the free written pattern. There should be a link in the video description of that video. And if you can't find it, you can get it directly off of the Cascade Yarns homepage. All right. And see, Judy's in the chat saying, hey to Hannah and Esther, and hope your Friday is awesome. And some great conversations going on. And yes, Esther, I don't know. Yeah, there she is. Okay, Esther was still there at least a few minutes ago. And all right, so Kelly Hart's asking about the email. Hopefully you got the email that I posted earlier, Kelly, on that. Let's see. Kathy Breyer says, hello, Bonnie. It's been a while. Love the blanket behind you. Thank you, Kathy. I hope you all enjoy this one. It's kind of a mile a minute style. If you've seen those mile a minute books where you just crochet back and forth. And the lace is very fast. Lots of treble crochets, double crochets, lots of space. So that means it really goes fast. It flies. We have Leanne Hamaguchi in the chat. Hey, Leanne, what a great name there. And let's see, Lynn Guider is in the chat. Hey, Lynn. She says, praise the Lord for you, Sister Bonnie, and everyone on God's gorgeously beautiful day. Yes, it is. Oh, my goodness, it's so beautiful out. And we have Green Shingle Homestead. Wow, that's an interesting handle. Says, hello, Bonnie. This is my first live stream. You're a wonderful teacher. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. I love, love, love teaching. Oh, I love doing it. I think part of the reason I love teaching, I'm just going to throw this out there, is because it's just really hard for me to understand things, because I find that sometimes people just like to sound smart when they deliver something in a teaching. If you've ever had an advanced math class or science class, when if you think back in high school or college, you think you can understand. It's like some of these people, they come up sounding so brilliant, but then it's like, okay, that sounded wonderful, but what did you just say? And and I think maybe 25 plus years of teaching preschoolers, having to break down concepts, teaching my own kids even Bible stories and things like that, teaching my kids homeschool everything for 20 years, and having to break it down to where, you know, we can all understand this in layman's terms. I think it's just really helped me just to be able to understand, okay, um, this is what you do, you do this and step by step, and don't skip anything. And I think the biggest thing that I try to do is to not assume anything. Don't assume that people understand what you just said. Show them. Don't assume that they understand all the other previous work you've done, because I realize a lot of people, because I've gotten some criticism, which I understand. Some people are bored and they understand the stitch, so you don't have to stop and teach that stitch for me. Well, that's true. Maybe I don't have to stop and teach. Let's say Johnny, for example, he's such a great crocheter, and he doesn't need me to go real slow on how to do the Celtic weave or the low front ridge or anything like that. But if you've come to my channel for the very first time, you do. And that's kind of why I do that, is just to try to make it easy, because quite frankly, I need that. When I'm learning a new skill, uh, I need to be shown, and I need someone to break it down step by step so I could repeat it. I needed that for knitting. For many years, I didn't knit because people assumed that I had this basic understanding, which I didn't, and then would say, oh, just do this. And I'm like, well, that's easy for you to say, but I don't know what this is. So when a friend of mine took the time to teach me step by step, it was a no-brainer. So I'm like, wow, that was great. But it does take someone breaking it down. So thank you. And I love doing this. I just love discovering new things. And even yesterday, I won't go into details or tell you what I did, but Hannah and I know what we're talking about. But yeah, I needed someone to take me by the hand and step by step show me how to do things, so that I could do what I needed to do. So anyhow, let's see. We have Carol Meinhardt in the chat. She says, hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone. Hey, Carol. So glad that you join us. And I think I already read that twice, but that's okay. And let's see, Toxic Work is talking about in Canada, says they have 4 vaccines being given out. Good for you guys. Yeah, the faster we get those out and about, the better, right? All right, so, okay, got some great questions Hannah is sending me. Okay, Lauren Jordan would like to know if Susan Bates is an American brand. Okay, she's heard of them before, but they seem to be difficult to get a hold of in the UK. Yes, it's a very old brand, Lauren. I mean, it's very old, and the reason that they're still around is I personally, no one is paying me to say this, okay? But they're the best hooks that I know. They're the best, hands down. And I am going to do a video on the difference between inline hooks and tapered hooks. Susan Bates is an inline hook. Personally, I can't do anything with the boy hooks. I have to tell you a little story. I was even offered the possibility to get money to endorse something that was made, a tool that was a very creative tool. I won't go into details about what it was, but it embodied the boy-shaped hook, which is, and I know many of you out there use the boy hooks and love them, and that's great. That's great. But I'm just telling you what, this is just the experience I've had. My muscle memory and everything is set in stone, and it's set in stone with the Susan Bates hook. So anyway, someone offered the possibility of making money at a conference, but I had to promote this this tool, and I thought it was a great tool. But I told them right up front, I said, I think this is very creative, but let me tell you why I can't do this. I cannot do anything with these hooks. I need, if this was a Susan Bates style hook, inline hook, I would I would be on board lock, stock, and barrel. And you wouldn't even have to pay me to tell, well, it would be great to get the pay, but you know, I would just endorse it regardless of the pay. But I had to turn down a paid endorsement because it's like, yeah, I can't encourage people to get this because I can't do much with it, if that makes sense. But anyway, um, they are available on Amazon.com. I do have a link for that in a video description below. Um, they oftentimes sell a set of just the plain Susan Bates hooks, which work fine. That's without the soft handle. Although it's called soft, it's really quite firm. It's not squishy or anything. But just the plain, you know, inline, you know, a pack of 6 hooks are sold at Michael's, but they do not sell them individually. They sell them at Joann Fabrics. So definitely check Joann Fabrics, and Joann Fabrics has an online site. So if you don't have a local store, you could order them online. I've actually done that during the pandemic because in South Carolina there are no Joann Fabrics, or at least within a 3-mile drive, a 3-hour drive for me. So I had to do that, and I, you know, had to pay a lot to get them that way. But I've done that. I've ordered them off of Amazon. The best bet is to walk into your Joann Fabric store with your coupon in hand and buy those hooks up. That's what I do. And because I always keep extra and I'm always running out of them. You know, I'm always losing them. Yeah, I'm sorry if they're difficult, Lauren. There might be another brand there. I'll have to investigate this, but there might be another brand. But I'll try to get that video out in the next month or so if I can, to show you the difference, because you may have, for example, Lion Brand yarn. If you can get Lion Brand products there, Lion Brand also manufactures an inline hook. They don't have the fancy handles, but they do manufacture an inline plastic style hook that is similar. So if that's helpful. Jan thinks, she thinks I should make a birthday themed blanket. Yeah, that would be fun. Thanks for the suggestion, Jan. I'll make a note of that. And Kelly Hart wants to know what CGOA stand for. Thank you for asking that, Kelly. I'm sorry. We are in a world of acronyms. I understand what it's like when people throw out, you know, XYZ and ABC. And my son, one of my sons is learning to be a pilot. So he's always, you know, throwing out these, you know, ATC and all these, which means air traffic control and all these other. I mean, he has like a bazillion acronyms that he speaks in now. And I was like, I have no idea what you just said. You need to say the whole words for me. I'm sorry. But CGOA stands for Crochet Guild of America. And now that she asked about that, I wanted to let you know that I am going to be teaching, I believe it's 2 Zoom classes with CGOA in this summer. And as soon as I get the dates and more information on that, I will be giving you all, you guys will be the first to know my schedule and what's happening, just in case you want to sign up for them. I'm not even going to tell you what the classes are yet because I want to make sure I have the information straight, and then I'll let you know. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. I mean, I'm going to miss being in person. I really wanted to travel to Colorado and teach you in person, but lo and behold, that's been bumped another year back. So, and also I'll let you know as well. I was really looking forward to teaching in Colorado for Yarn Fest, but in case you haven't heard, Yarn Fest has been bumped to April 2022. So I was really looking forward to, you know, in-person, face-to-face teaching, but again, been deferred. But save your money, guys. Save your vacation time, and let's do it in 2022. Okay, that I'm ready to rock it. You know, just hope that things go well for us to be able to do that. Um, Carol Meinhardt would like to know if it's possible to do each panel in the spring throw in a different color, or is the pattern such that changing colors wouldn't be advised? I would give it a try, Carol. I'm not sure how you're going to want to do the low front ridge. If you wanted to do like a separate color for that, or you can just be creative, do whatever you'd like. I think it would be an excellent possibility. You can always try it and see how it looks and see what you think. The only concern that I would have is just making sure that you match the colors um, in such a way that these low front ridge rows, so that they don't look too odd. I wouldn't, you don't want too high of a contrast there. I don't know. So surprise us, see what you can do with it. That's great. And you can always use your stash. Okay, Stuntel's design, okay, has looked for Susan Bates crochet hooks. I was wondering if they have crochets that's smaller than 3.5 millimeter. I don't, they have all sizes in the crochet, the Susan Bates hooks. Everything from the smallest steel hooks, which are used for the fine thread, all the way up through gargantuan, like size P and Q and S. I mean, even really big ones. So they have all sizes. It's just whether the availability is there. I don't know. And the tricky part, though, is Susan Bates. I guess part of the other question someone was asking is, yes, they are made in America, originated here. Where they're made now, I don't know. I imagine that's something they probably farmed out to other countries, which would be great, giving other nations, I think I have some made in Mexico. Actually, here I am talking all about these hooks. And I've got my collection right here, so you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't see where. Okay, yeah, these are actually made in Mexico. Okay, this is a size G, and this is what we're talking about. And if you want to see, I know it's backwards to you, but pull it back. Can you see here? Okay, can you see that? And trying to figure what it's focusing on. But yeah, this is the soft handle, they call it. But as you can see, this is, let's see, this is not a soft material. It's not that squishy stuff. It's rather hard. But I like the way it really does help my fingers to have something really nice to grab onto. Now I have plenty of these, just the regular. Oh, that's a boy hook. Goodness gracious. Well, I'll use that for an example. Okay, so this is the same hook without the fancy handle. And maybe if you have something that you slide onto your handles, that could work. But this is a boy hook. I don't know if you can see, but do you see how this top is tapered? Do you see that? And it actually is a smaller millimeter if you measured it up here, okay? And how the head is very, very rounded like, okay? Susan Bates is a very different design, okay? Do you see how the handle, the shaft and everything is the same dimensions? It's indented here for the yarn, but generally speaking, the size around does not change. And so these are very different. Do you see that? I have a hard time pulling the yarn through with these. But if I go slow and I'm very deliberate, I can make these work. These I can go blindfolded and fly with them without even thinking about it. It's like a machine with these with me. I can use these, but yeah, like I say, I struggle with these. So, and Susan Bates has even, okay, like here's an L hook. I don't have all of my hooks with me, but I do have the bigger ones. And here's a K. This is the 6.50 millimeter crochet hook. And let's see. Oh, here's a thin one. What is this? This is a 2.25 Susan Bates. So yeah, see, this is very small, 2.25. So they do make them, and this is with a bamboo handle. They also have these at Joann's. They used to have them at our beloved AC Moore store, which is no longer. But this is nice too. It's really nice too. Very nice for such a thin hook. If I had to hold this little tiny thing all day, this is it a B? This is a size B. Yeah, I rarely use this, but this is, this handle makes this hook usable to me. Otherwise, it would kill my hand to try to grab that thing. Okay. Let's see. Let me just show you. When I said they have these at Michael's, this is what they have at Michael's. Okay, this is not a complete set, but if you imagine that there's another hook there, this is usually a set of 6, and my 6th hook is AWOL, I guess, but you have a set of hooks like this that you can get at Michael's, and they're usually about between $10 and $12 for the set. And my advice when you go to Michael's to get the set of hooks, bring your 50% coupon or 40% coupon. That's probably why they're in bankruptcy right now, but definitely bring those coupons, and that'll take quite a bit. And here's another hook that's this is not a clover. This is by Knitpicks. They sent me a set. These are actually, these are nice. I mean, as far as, the boy style hook, this is, very similar. See how they're similar? This is a tapered hook. So this is still a little harder for me to use. But yeah. So yeah, this is kind of a big deal. And there are a lot of differences. But there are a lot of different hooks out there where they have a lot of different fancy handles. And there are some hooks out there that are very expensive, and I bought 1 or 2 just to try them, to think, well, maybe I need to find out what all the hoopla is about. And while I love the way this felt in my hand, I couldn't do anything with this part of it. So I had to, oh, I can't use this. So I do have a set of these, and while they feel quite nice, actually the main thing that I use these for, you're going to laugh. If and ever we have another conference, I'm going to be using these to practice with, because when we have crochet speed contest at the CGOA thing, which is really fun for me, they gave us these hooks at the last contest, and by the grace of God and a miracle, and this is with getting a big old knot in my yarn that I had to untie, I still came in 3rd using these hooks. But if they had given me my Susan Bates, I wouldn't have had to worry about 3rd place. And I'm sorry to be boastful there. Yeah, okay, I was boastful. But the first time they had the contest, I mean, I had the Susan. It was an inline hook made by Lion Brand, and again, by the grace of God, I had no trouble just coming in 1st place with that. These bumped me back, but I did try real hard. But anyway, all that to say, yeah, it does make a difference. Now, if you're an absolute beginner, you may not see much of a difference, because you're just still trying to understand what to do with your hands, and how to hold the yarn and whatnot. I totally get that. That took me a while. Well, anyway, let me go ahead and get back to the chat, and we have a bag of yarn to open too. Okay. I went on a long time about that. Okay, so I think I answered the questions there about the online hook. See, Archer Nay says, if folks have trouble with metal hooks, you can buy soft plastic crochet that fit over the handle. Yes, you can. Yeah, and there, if you also, another source, if you're looking for a crochet hook that has something larger to hold on to, check Etsy, the ETSY. Check the Etsy creator store, because there are people out there that actually make special handles that attach, or that you can that are permanently attached, to the handle. So definitely give that a try. Okay, so let's go on. Okay, and Suzanne was wondering if anyone finds the Susan Bates with the softer handle to be sharp at the end of the hook. I have sometimes, Suzanne, found that the quality control on any of the hooks can be a little, can leave a little wanting. I've even had to take some and take a metal file and just file them a little bit to soften it. So yeah, occasionally that happens. A lot has happened over the years. I think with the Red Heart Yarn Company, they used to be based, I believe, outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. Years ago, they were bought by the Canadian company, Yarnspirations. So, I mean, I don't even know who does what anymore. Everything is, a lot of people have been bought by other people. So I don't really don't know what's going on with that. It seems like they are made in Mexico. Some of them, they may have different places of manufacture, and it just may be, whoever is milling them at the time. There might be some operations that are better than others. My son actually is a machinist. The one who's learning to fly is also works as a trained CNC machinist, and does a lot of deburring on some things. So it just may be that the quality control on whoever was working that day was just kind of poor, or maybe some just get by them. I don't understand, but yeah, I have run into that too. It's not all of them; it's just occasional. Um, but that would go with, for any, I think, any of the things being manufactured like that. Um, all right, let's keep it going here. I'm way behind here. We have Margita from Sweden, and let's see. And Dominion says, "I ordered your book. I'm excited for it to arrive." Oh, thank you, Dominion. Thank you for your support there. Um, and Jan says, "We spring ahead this weekend. Yay!" Yeah, spring is almost here. Um, that's right, guys. Sunday morning at 2 a.m. It changes to 3 a.m. So remember to get up at 2 a.m. and change your clock to 3, right? Whoever does that. Yeah, so just have to get, you know, I guess that's the good thing. Our church in Maryland, since we're blessed to use rented space in the afternoon, we meet at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because, anyway, so I guess that'll be a lot easier. You don't have to worry, Hannah, don't have to worry too much about sleeping in or oversleeping because it's in the afternoon. You'll have plenty of time to adjust. Um, so Eric and Norma are in the chat. Says hello, Bonnie and everyone. And Deborah Wood from Virginia. Oh, thank you, Proverbs 31. That's so sweet. Sweet comment. Let's see. And Laura says she got the AstraZeneca shot, I guess, going back to that discussion. Um, Said, thankfully, I feel mostly normal today, but it did knock me flat yesterday, and the sweating was really gross. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you're doing better, Lauren. That's so good. And let's see, Blind Stitches Creations. I need to check out your channel. If there's anything I could do for you, can you please just email me back and forth? I'd be glad to do. If you have any questions or if there's any way I can help you out, I'll be glad to share what little I know. Hey, my sister was in the chat at some point, but she's back now. She's back to work by now. She says hello for a moment to everyone popping in to say hi. She'll watch it later. So good to see my sis there. And let's see, I'm gonna skip past, skip. We have Ana is in the chat, and let's see, we got some. See, Sandra says hello, Bonnie. It's 5:15. Oops, sorry, I'm just not getting to your answer, your question here. It says I'm cooking. Looks like she's from the UK. I'm cooking and we'll have to watch later. Keep safe, everyone. But when you watch this later, hey Sandra, thank you for commenting. I'm sorry I didn't get to you sooner. And let's see, Lauren looks like she's having some toddler issues going on there. Oh, embrace it, Lauren. It's a wonderful time of life, honey, and it goes by so fast. And we have Najla in the chat. Hey, she says, hi, everyone from France. Windy and rainy France. Wow. It was good to see you. Bonjour. Hope you have a great day. And Hannah's in the chat. Hey. And she says, hi, Bonnie and everyone from sunny Switzerland. eating now. Just finished the back of my Aran cabled sweater. I hope you're enjoying this one. I hope that's working out for you. Oh, I would love to be in Switzerland. Ah, I love being here, though. The sun is out, so I am happy. But I hope you're having a grand time there. Hope things are loosening up for you guys, too. And I hope Dave is doing well. I keep thinking of him. Hope he is recovering. And we'll hope he makes a full recovery as best he can. And let's see. Lauren says, I could do with some knitting needle recommendations. I'm using some plastic single point ones from eBay, but I feel committed enough to buy better ones. Lauren, depending on what you like, I do have a link in the video description again, knit picks. It just really depends on what you like, because I know that's kind of a personal thing with people. I've learned though that I do not like steel. I do not like the steel scraping as I knit. I have one pair like that I had to get because that's all that was available in this particular size. But I love the circular needles, and Knit Picks has like these sets, and they're these beautiful wooden color, different shades of wood that you can get. And I really like them. The only thing about them, you have to make sure that they're twisted in securely into both ends of the cable. I absolutely really like mine. They also make some that are fixed, where they don't unscrew, and they're like white bamboo. I think it's by Clover. There are some really good brands out there, but I would personally stick with a reputable brand. And this is one area, especially if you're buying nice yarn to knit with. I wouldn't get discount needles. I just think it ruins the journey. I did that. I actually did a video on that. I got a set from Michaels. They were metal, and they were the fixed type, and they were on a discount. So let's try these. And every time the yarn slipped over the connecting point, it would rip the yarn, every single stitch. And so I made a video about that so that you guys never buy those things, okay? Spend the $2 or $3 extra. I mean, you're already spending a lot on yarn anyway. Spend a couple more dollars for your tools. Your tools can be with you for a lifetime. So get something good. Invest in it well. That's my advice. But check out Knit Picks. The kits they have there, and they come in a pouch, so you keep everything together, and they have pockets in it. You can put extra different size cables and everything. I actually have two sets. I have one set because the wood is just gorgeously beautiful, but it's dark. So I decided to get a lighter set so that when I record, you'll be able to see the contrast between the background, the needle, and the yarn a lot better. But I use both sets, and I have absolutely no regrets. They are an investment though. I think they range from $45 to $65 for a set. So you have to think on it. I know it's not cheap, but if you're just looking for individual ones, check out the ones like at Joann's, the Clover, I think are fine. So anyway, I hope that helps. And if you like the metal, if you end up being like you like that metal stainless steel, they have a lot of those online too. I would just check out, what you can find at the Joann's site, or really any site. The Knit Picks has those too. Thank you, Hannah. You're doing a fantastic job, honey. She's sending me questions. So if you're wondering if I'm skipping you on purpose, I'm not. Hannah's just keeping me going here. Nina Saint is debating on the Furls hook, and she would like to know if they're worth the money. I think they're beautiful. I have one in my hook collection. But honestly, I never use mine. So I think this is one of those things where it's a personal thing. And let me tell you why. And I see the ads all the time for those. I think they're works of art, quite frankly. They're beautiful. I love to look at them. Again, when it comes to actually crocheting, I can't use them. And this is why. Do you see this flat spot on the hook? Okay, when I crochet, I use the knife hold. Okay, like some people use like the spoon hold. And again, it's whatever you prefer, whatever you started with, your muscle memory is set to whatever, that's fine. Mine got set this way, like people call it a knife hold. But anyway, my thumb rest securely on this flat spot. And when I crochet, you can watch the videos and you'll see my hook does not turn on me. Okay, when I use a hook that does not have the flattened spot that keeps the hook in one space, and this I think is why I can crochet so fast. When I have used a fancy hook, I actually bought a set from Knitpicks. They're beautiful. They're polished wood. I think they're walnut. I mean, just, you know, expensive. And but they're beautiful, but they're completely round. There's no flat spot on them for your thumb. And I found that as I was crocheting with them, because I had to use them once, I couldn't find the right size Susan Bates hook, so I had to use them for a video, and I had to keep stopping and starting my camera because the hook kept turning and then I couldn't pull the yarn through. The furls are completely round. Now the handle is gorgeous and it looks like it'd be very comfortable. If you don't have to worry about the hook turning on you, then you might love that hook. I, for one, can't use them because I have to concentrate too much on what the hook is doing. It distracts me from my design. So does that make sense? Because what happens is the hook tends to turn and I have to keep stopping and bringing it back to a certain place. When I have the thumb rest here, it's on autopilot. I don't have to deal with that at all. So I don't want to, you know, and again, I don't want to hurt anybody's sales who are trying to sell them out there. Please don't go to their site and say, oh, Bonnie Barker says those are awful. Please don't say that, because I think they're works of art. They're beautiful. You may just want one sitting in a dish just for decoration. Personally, I can't use them. So I have saved myself a lot of money, unfortunately, because I just can't use them. So maybe I saved you some money there. I don't know. You're welcome if I did. But again, I think it's a great idea. It's personally just not for me. I mean, it's just like a lot of fashions out there. You know, people love them. They sell like crazy. Personally, it's just not for me. You know, so that's okay. We have freedom to do whatever we want and be different. In fact, somebody made me some handmade ones, which I treasure, and I still have them. I will die with them in my possession. They're beautiful, are made by a friend that I met, whose husband, I think, made them. I have to find them. They're in Maryland, but they're gorgeous. And I have them sitting on my desk on display. They're part of my beautification project, you know, in my craft room. But I can't use them because of the same thing, because my hand tends to turn, the hook tends to turn on me. All right, so Kelly would like to know if you can still use a scratched crochet hook, or should she just replace it with a new one? It depends how the scratch is. If it's scratched in a way that is hurting your yarn in any way, I would ditch it. I mean, if you can't sand it down with a metal file or something, I would replace it. Because it reminds me again of that story I just told you about the knitting needles, and every time it passed over that metal part, it would rip the yarn. So if that's what you're getting, bye hook. Yeah, so all right, well, let me see if we got let's see. I'm skipping some of these comments, guys, because I know time is fleeing here. Looks like you guys are talking about, Emmeline says that to Hannah, she says, I had a dream that you were here for a visit. Have a good day. Oh, that was so sweet. Or Hen, I'm sorry. I know I mispronounced your name again, but I'm stuck with this brain. Proverbs 31 yarn posted says, Proverbs 31:13. She shops around for the best yarn and cottons and enjoys knitting and sewing. Looks like that's your interpretation. That's cool. So let's see what else we got here. That is cute. And okay. I'm see. I'm just making sure there aren't any questions. We have Mary Hayes from sunny Arizona. She says, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Yes. And Blind Creation says, Blind Stitches Creation says, thank you so much. I use voiceover to do my videos, and you have inspired me so much. I made your shell stitch baby blanket. Wow, that is wonderful. I want to learn more how you do what you do, Blind Stitch Creations. I'm very inspired. I really want to see how you. I would love to feature you at some point if we can. Maybe we could do an interview. I would love to do that. So let's connect on email. Okay. So I think others would like to understand more of what your world is like too. Um, okay. So well, let's go ahead. Oh, I just got a ton of things here. Well, let me go ahead and let's do the unboxing, unbagging thing with Knitcrate. And again, this is something that they're not paying me to do this, except that they are sending me the bag and with the simple request to evaluate what's inside. Okay, so this is Knitcrate, and they've gone to using these bags. I think they're supposed to be more eco-friendly or something like that. I don't know. I kind of like their boxes personally because I would reuse them as gift boxes. But anywho, bags are fine. I'm sure it's probably less postage for them. And let's see. This is a monthly. Okay, so let me read the bag. It's 100% biodegradable. Okay, so this is a compostable plastic. Cool. So Knitcrate is a monthly, you've probably seen other people do this. This is a monthly yarn subscription. It is $24.99 a month for this particular level. They do have higher levels of sock yarn and specialty dyed yarns and things, but their regular yarn is pretty fancy schmancy. And if you are interested in getting this, it's kind of nice. You get a little surprise package in the mail once a month. And if you're interested in that, there is the link in the video description below. If you use my code Bonnie20, you get 20% off your first order or your first shipment. If you decide you don't like it, that's fine, or you don't want to get it anymore. It's easy. You just cancel over email, and that works. And so let's go ahead and see. Ooh, we have a card in here, which I need to read. So it looks like they have all of their patterns. This comes with patterns, a kind of a pattern booklet, which apparently has gone to more online. And they have a little code here. You can download this month's issue. And it has some patterns. Let's see. And the theme is Unwind. Here's the picture. And let's see. They do a lot of other good stuff like tree planting projects worldwide. And this is, okay, I can't really show you the projects, but it looks like a nice little cozy cowl there that you can make with this. And they always have a crochet project and a knit project that you can make. Ooh. Oh, I like this color. Wow. Isn't that nice? This is a nice natural, I love browns. I can wear browns easily. And these are great because one thing nice about colors like this is I can make stuff for my guys with these kind of colors. I can't get them out of the neutrals, but this is called Calm by Aldine Wools. This is their line of wool. This, oh, listen to this. The color is called Moose. This is 80% wool, 10% silk, 10% mohair. This is a DK weight. This is a hand wash, lay flat to dry, which is probably a good idea for most handmade items. This is made in Peru. A DK weight, 231 yards or 211 meters per scan. So you have a total of 462 yards. So that's a decent amount to make something, nice cowl. You can make a hat. I might even look into making a hat and scarf set with this. I mean, you can do some nice things with that. Okay, or even maybe like a hat and cowl set. Anything that requires 460 yards or less, you'll have enough to do. And there's some other goodies in here too. Let's see what else. Oh, wow. This is cute. Looks like a little, okay, like a necklace thing, I guess. This is for February. It says, all you need is yarn. And this is a tape measure. I have so many of these things around my house, in my bag, in my backpack. And it just seems, in fact, I bought a metal one up at this freight store up the road from us. They had one that was just a really long one, because oftentimes if I'm working on Afghans, these aren't long enough. So I have a really nice firm metal one that you get at the hardware store, so I can measure my Afghans a little more accurately. But yeah, that is cool. So that's a little, another one of these that I really could use, because I know I'm going to lose the ones I got. Not that any of you would understand what I'm talking about. But so anyway, so that is Knitcrate. This is February. Of course, we're in March. And as you know, February shipments were February and January. A lot of that stuff has been delayed due to COVID-19, because a lot of the yarn, as you know, is coming from Peru and places like that. So if you don't mind waiting just a little while, you know, the stuff does eventually come. They're very faithful. It's just yarn in general, like even the yarn for this project, will be available March 25th, according to the Knitcrate site. But yarn in general has been tough getting, because of shipment due to the pandemic. But hopefully once that's over, that it'll end. I'm still waiting for my yellow yarn for my project that I've got coming to YouTube, but I ran out. So okay, so Hannah hasn't sent me any new pertinent questions. So let's see. Okay, Lauren's talking about, okay, to Brat's mom, says, I just got some single point needles, talking about knitting needles again, to play with, to do typical English style knitting, I guess. So I'm not an experienced knitter, but I think circular may be better investment. I would encourage you to do that, Lauren. I think I have, yeah, I love the circular knitting needles. I think that would be great. And I use continental style, not the English style. I can do a little bit of English style. I'm actually learning another knitting thing where you kind of have to do both. You have to do continental, and you have to be able to do both, you know, where you do continental with one and then wrap with the other. But that's a little more on the complicated side. That's when you're doing like two-sided knitting. No, that wasn't two-sided knitting. That was using like 2 or 3 colors of yarn at the same time. Whew, that's kind of like, again, swimming in the deep end of the pool. That's more like, well, it's not quite swimming in the ocean with the sharks, but it's getting close for me. But I had to learn to kind of do both in order to keep the colors straight. But I think the circular knitting needles are a lot less for your hands to have to deal with, and there's a lot less weight in your hand, and it feels a lot more like a crochet hook. So all right, so we have Allison. She says greetings. She's a newbie here. It's way at the bottom there. I know there are a lot of comments that were skipped. Sorry guys. So wow, it came onto my phone, but it still hasn't come onto my computer. Wow. Oh, there it is. Allison's story. There's newbie here. Okay, I am glad to stumble over this channel. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're here, Allison. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Well, guys, I think I'm going to start wrapping up. It is 1:23-ish here, and oh, I have a couple other things here. Okay, Steph says she likes my t-shirt. Oh, thank you, Steph. And yes, I do have a t-shirt store. In Teespring store, there should be a kind of something running right along the bottom of the video. And I have these, and I have a lot of others, and it's just finally warm enough to wear this one. So it looks like I'm, okay, my computer started, oh dear. Sorry guys, I started to freak out a little bit. My computer started buffering, but I don't see you guys buffering there, so I think I'm good. All right, well, I wanted to, and I will read the other comments, guys, that, Let's see. Let me see if I can just check it out. Okay, Sandra was wondering about the Knitcrate. Can you order it in Canada? They do ship worldwide. So definitely, as I tell my kids when they're asking questions about things, I said, well, give them a chance to tell you no. If you don't give them a chance to say no, then you'll never hear the yes. But definitely contact them. And at the link below, don't forget to use that Bonnie20 code if you want to try it. Um, I don't. I'm pretty sure they ship worldwide. So of course, you know, the pandemic may change things, but definitely give them a call, or a text rather, or email. I'll get it. You know, contact them. All right. Let's see. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and read something to you, and then I'm gonna have to sign off because, quite frankly, I'm feeling kind of selfish right now, and I'm looking outside at this beautiful sky, and you know what I want to do, Hannah? Gonna go for a drive. Gonna get outside. Okay, I am reading this book. I read from this a couple weeks ago. Okay, it's How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. This was written in 1948. There's nothing new under the sun in here, okay? But this is like a fantastic, fantastic book. Okay, Hannah says, wants to know if you can order this in Canada. As far as the yarn goes, that's the question, Sandra? I'm sorry if I misunderstood. Um, the I don't know if Knit Picks ships to Canada. Again, you can contact them and find out, but you can use any worsted weight yarn that's available to you. If you're in Canada, you've got Yarn Inspirations. They're like the acrylic king. I mean, they have all the yarn. They supply us with our Red Heart and Caron yarn. So, you know, any of those yarns should work fine for this. It's just a matter of, you know, finding the color and the texture that you like, quite honestly. Well, anyway, I was reading through this book, and I'm making my way through it slowly, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Learning a lot. And I didn't pick it up because I'm a constant worrier or anything, but you know, I just love reading Dale Carnegie. He's just so positive and in a lot of ways very biblical in his thinking. And this is about worry, and I again prompted because my mother-in-law likes to watch the news sometimes, which, you know, it's interesting to get caught up on what's going on, but I've just noticed the theme over the last year or so. And there's a lot of fear mongering going on in the news. I mean, that's, again, they make their money through advertisement. It's a business. It's not a public servant thing. They're making money. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a business. I have a business. My business makes money. If my business doesn't make money, I can't eat, you know, so there's nothing wrong per se with that. But I'm just saying a pattern I've noticed with the news, and I have read that statistically, bad news sells. People want to hear the bad news. Good news is boring. Okay, I'm not saying that personally, but that's the reality when it comes to their business model. So this past week, I heard a lot of things that they would say something horrific, you know, statistically or otherwise, and a lot of it related to COVID. And I know COVID has been, you know, I know it's been difficult. It's been tragic. It's affected all of us. I have met a few of my mother-in-law's friends who are no longer with us because of COVID. There was a man that I met, a really dear man, that I got to meet, wonderful servant kind of a guy. 2 weeks later, she gets a call. He passed away from COVID, just like that. I'm not trying to minimize the effects at all, but what I have noticed is that even when things are getting better, there's this tagline that this could happen. You know, if this continues, all of these people could be affected. They're not saying they have been affected, this has happened. They're not reporting, they're saying this could happen, you know, and I've noticed that, you know, there's just so much that could happen. I mean, the sun could stop shining this afternoon and we'd all be gone. I mean, God forbid, and I don't think that's on the horizon anytime soon, but there are a lot of things that could happen, but aren't going to happen. So why should we sacrifice the joy of right now for something that could happen tomorrow that hasn't happened? But essentially, that's what we're hearing a lot of in the news, and a lot of people read a lot of that, and which is why probably a lot of people, and I'm going on and on too long about this, I'm sorry, but anyway, because of that, I thought it'd be interesting to read this book, and I'm learning a ton of stuff from it, and I'm really loving it. So I just wanted to read a couple things out of it that have really benefited me, and I do believe they line up with the scripture that I know and love. And this is in the chapter 12 of this book, and it's called 8 Words That Can Transform Your Life. You want to hear the 8 words that can transform your life? And for the record, this isn't rocket science. Okay, he says, I now know with a conviction beyond all doubt that the biggest problem you and I have to deal with, in fact, almost the only problem we have to deal with, is choosing the right thoughts. If we can do that, we will be on the high road to solving all our problems. The great philosopher who ruled the Roman Empire, Marcus Aurelius, summed it up in 8 words. 8 words that can determine your destiny. You want to hear what they are? Okay, this is from the Roman Empire days. It says, our life is what our thoughts make it. I'll read that again. Our life is what our thoughts make it. And then there's a little bit further into the chapter, he has some bullet points, and I wanted to read one of these. And it says, just for today, these are under the things that we can do. It says, just for today, I will be happy. This assumes that what Abraham Lincoln said is true, that most folks are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. Happiness is from within. It is not a matter of externals. So I hope that encourages you. It really encouraged me when I read that. And again, just really, just wanted to pass that along. I didn't want to just keep it to myself. But anyhow, so enjoyed being with you guys today. I'm going to sign off because you need to get outside and enjoy that sun. I need to get outside and enjoy the sun. And I hope you have a fabulous week. And stay safe out there. And I will see you next Friday. Let me see. Am I going to see you next Friday? Yes. Yes, I will, because my kids are not coming in until Friday in the evening. So I will see you all next Friday, Lord willing. God bless. Bye-bye.